Good morning. It is a beautiful day here in Florida. It is 95 degrees, 100% humidity. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sweating like a guilty man at church. And today I'm driving down a dirt road through a state forest, and I'm really hoping to be able to photograph the Bachman sparrow, a bird that's from the southern part of the United States. And as you can hear behind you, it is singing right there. So now the only thing I have to do is find it in good light and take its picture. Well, the Bachman sparrow is a bird that is traditional nesting grounds is in North Carolina and from Florida up to North Carolina. The Bachman sparrow is considered a bird of an extreme concern in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and in Florida where I am now. And the reason for that is this bird is the classic example of any other animal that's dependent on longleaf pines. These birds are dependent on fire. And fire opens up the under canopy of the forest. It encourages growth of other longleaf pines. It suppresses other trees that are not very beneficial to the birds here. It opens up nesting grounds. It's just a very positive way. And it also recycles organic material very fast into this very poor soil that we're in right now. Now, here in the United States for the last 150 years, we've been suppressing fire, which has been negatively affecting it. And this area that I'm in right now, they burn on a regular basis, which is really exciting. So I figure I have 3 nesting areas here. I have one right here, and I heard one singing behind me. Now, one of the problems I have today is that the classic way to get or see a Bachman sparrow or photograph them is to call, because these birds respond very well to calling. Otherwise, they're low in the bush and they're very difficult to find. So I can't call. It's the middle of breeding season. This is a bird of a threatened species of birds. I don't want to stress this bird out or any way negatively affect this bird. So I'm going to have to do it the hard way, basically just scanning this area with my binoculars and hopefully finding one. While I'm looking for the Bachman sparrow, I am photographing butterflies. Now, as many of you know, that I'm trying to expand my photography horizons and take photographs of other things. Now, butterflies would seem like a natural step. I mean, you're out here in the woods, butterflies are here. What's the big deal? And there's not a big deal. Now, certain things you have to be aware of. The camera has trouble focusing on butterflies, especially when they're close to you. The butterflies right here that I'm photographing are about 3 yards away from me, so the camera's having trouble focusing, so I have to manually focus. I want to shoot with a wider aperture because I want the entire insect in focus, and because the insect is so close to me, I have to have a wider aperture to get this thing. So I'm shooting at f7. I am shooting at a higher shutter speed because I want to stop all the action. I want everything to move perfectly still. And we got a little bit of a breeze going here, so between the insect moving and the wind moving the flowers, I want to have a fast shutter speed of 2,000th of a second, which means I have to ratchet up my ISO. But I think I'm getting some really good pictures, and if I am, I'm going to show them to you right now. I'm going to pack it in here for right here. I'm going to move down the road a little bit and see if I can photograph these Bachman sparrows down the road a little bit more. These 3 here, I've seen all 3 of them, and they're right about 75 yards away from the road. So I'm not going to get a picture of them, and even if I do, it's kind of a, not a great photo. So what I think I'm going to do is move down the road here a little bit. Because they're burning so much down here, and because of my time on eBird, I know that these birds are around this area here and on this road. So I feel very confident in finding another one. I think one of the things about photographing birds that is very, very frustrating is that you've got to take a picture of where the bird is when you see it. And I just photographed this Bachman sparrow. Here's the photo, and as you can tell, it's backlit, it's horrible lighting, it's just not a great picture. So I'm very, very disappointed of it, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep going. But that just shows you that how difficult it can be to get those really epic photos. And when you see people that have epic photos there, a lot of times they spend all day long out photographing these birds here, like I'm doing today, chasing this bird, and just hoping that the right light and the right situation comes up and you get that picture. The delete button is definitely my favorite button because I would say I delete over 99% of the photos I take. And I probably should delete even more of those. So I'm hoping that these puffy clouds keep coming through, because when they come over the area that I'm in, that really gives me a soft light, and hopefully the bird will be seen at the same time we have the soft light. Well, the way I'm finding this bird is I'm using an app called Merlin, and Merlin has a sound ID app. So what I'm doing is I'm driving along the road here, and I stick my phone out the window with that app running, and it just listens for the birds and tells me what birds are heard around here. Now, one of my biggest weaknesses when it comes to birding is identifying calls, so having an app like this is a really good tool for me. That Bachman sparrow is right about there. He's 25 yards away from me. He's singing his heart out. The problem I'm having is the light is horrendous. It is just harsh light. I can't get good video of it. I can't get good pictures of it. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open with my glasses on. And I am so frustrated because I'm kind of torn. Okay, leave this bird, go somewhere else and see if you can find a bird in a better light. But he's right there 25 yards away from me singing. I can't leave him, can I? I mean, can I hope that a cloud will come over and make the light better? I am really torn at this spot, so what I'm going to do is probably the wrong decision. I'm going to stay here and see what happens, because he's 25 yards away, and 90% of photographing birds is finding the bird. So do I leave or do I go? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Still there. Now, some of you might be asking, why don't I simply walk around the bird on the other side of the bird and try and take its picture from another angle? And that would definitely work. That would definitely work. The problem we have here is that I'm in its territory, its breeding territory. And if I walk around it, I'll be walking through its territory. And I don't want to disrupt this bird's breeding behavior. So basically, I have to stay where I am and hope for better light. And I'm really, really torn about this. Part of me is saying you're making a mistake, move, go on. The other part of me is saying the bird is right there, stay here. I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I move on. Well, my cloud cover has finally come in and the bird took off. I wasn't able to get my photo. I'm very disappointed about that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on, see what I can run into. I think this road pretty much goes as straight as an arrow all the way down, so I'm not feeling very confident, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep swinging, see what happens here. The only thing I can do is keep going. That Bachman sparrow is right here. That is really, really cool. I gotta tell you, I shouldn't say that, I've worked this hard for birds before, but these birds have been calling here, and I think if I came here in the winter time, I'd be more willing to use the call to call them in. But they use their calling to defend their territory. And there's another one over here, which I'm not taking a picture of because he's backlit. So these two are singing back and forth to each other, and it is really, really cool. I am so glad that I got out here and took these photos. So anyways, here are the photos I took. Well, I am so glad this is over. This road is about 25 miles long, and actually it ends up here less than a half a mile up this road here. So I am so happy I got this picture. I really did have some serious doubts about it. One of my goals when I came to Florida was to photograph this bird. So being able to photograph this bird is very, very exciting. So I'm going to end the video here. I want to thank you for watching. If you got anything at all out of it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel because that really helps us in the YouTube world. Become a Patreon supporter. Your support allows us to keep doing this. My name is Sean Leahy. I want to thank you for watching.